So she got to Ekpe on that very day. They are in a place drinking. The friend had told her, enjoy. She put a distress call to her friend and told her that she is in danger and she's locked in a room.
She told her friend she might not make it through the night, and those words turned out to be a warning nobody took seriously enough. October 25th, 2025, Lagos, Nigeria. It was a Saturday, and 25-year-old Comfort Uwakwe was getting ready to go out. She lived at 1 Olusegun Close off Eliaso Street, Mafolokun, Oshodi. She was a young woman from Owala Autonomous Community in Owerri North Local Government area of Imo State. She had built her life in Lagos, the city of hustle, the city of dreams. She had her own place, her own routine, her own circle of friends. By every account, Comfort was a normal young woman going about her normal life. But on this particular Saturday, something was different. She was going on a trip she had not fully told anyone about, and that decision would change everything forever. Comfort was heading to Ekpe, a town on the eastern edge of Lagos State sitting on the banks of a lagoon. It is about 60 to 70 kilometers from Oshodi, and getting there requires a long ride through Lagos traffic and winding roads. She was going to see a man named Olajide Akinshola. Now, here is where the story starts getting complicated. Not many people in Comfort's life knew much about Olajide. He was not someone her close ones had met before. He was not someone she had openly talked about bringing home. The nature of their relationship is still unclear to this day. Were they dating? Were they old friends? Had they met online? Nobody can say for certain. What we do know is that Comfort had plans to see him that Saturday, and she kept those plans close to her chest. Before she left, her younger sister Virginia asked her a very simple question. She asked Comfort who she was going to see. It was a normal question, the kind a sibling asks when they notice you dressing up to go somewhere. Comfort's answer was just as casual. She told Virginia that she would not know the person. In other words, don't worry about it. Virginia did not push harder. She probably figured her older sister was just going to hang out with someone from a different circle. She let it go. Comfort also spoke with a close female friend named Ifeoma before she left. Ifeoma asked the same question, who are you going to see? And Comfort gave the same answer, you won't know the person. She said it and moved on. Nobody stopped her, nobody said at least give us a contact number, an address, a photo. And so Comfort Uwakwe left for Ekpe, carrying her phone, her trust, and a secret that would haunt everyone who loved her. She arrived in Ekpe sometime that afternoon. Her first call to Ifeoma was reassuring. She let her friend know she had arrived safely and had met the person she came to see. Ifeoma was relieved. Good. Her friend was there. She was okay. Everything seemed fine. The afternoon passed. The sun began to go down. Lagos skies turned orange, then dark. Ifeoma carried on with her evening, not thinking too much about it. But then, much later that night, at exactly 10:08 p.m., her phone rang again. It was Comfort, and the Comfort on that call was not the same woman who had left home that morning with plans for the day. She was scared. She told Ifeoma that she had been locked inside a room. She said she was in danger, and then, before the call could go further, her phone went silent. That was the last time anyone ever heard Comfort Uwakwe's voice.
A young woman called her friend at 10 at night and said she was locked in a room and in danger. What happened next is almost impossible to understand. When someone calls you to say they are in danger, everything stops. At least it should stop. You call the police, you share the information with family, you try to find out where they are. You do not sleep. But that is not what happened on the night of October 25th, 2025. After that distress call from Comfort, Ifeoma did not take immediate action. She did not call Virginia. She did not call the police. She did not go anywhere. She waited and waited. By the next morning, Sunday, October 26, 2025, Ifeoma was trying to reach Comfort and could not get through. The phone was not connecting. But even then, she did not call Comfort's family right away. It was not until Sunday evening, nearly 24 hours after that terrifying phone call, that Ifeoma finally reached out to Virginia and told her what Comfort had said. The family was shocked, not just by what Comfort had said on the phone, but by the fact that it had taken this long to find out. Virginia and the family wasted no more time. They began trying to trace Comfort's steps. They tried calling her phone. Nothing. They tried to find out anything about where she had gone in Ekpe. They could not get clear answers quickly enough. Then on Monday, October 27, 2025, 2 days after Comfort disappeared, the family walked into Makinde police station in Oshodi and reported her missing. What happened next added frustration to an already painful situation. The officers at Makinde told them to go to Epe police station, since that was where she was last seen. The family went all the way to Epe. Epe police station told them to go back to Makinde. They were being sent back and forth while a woman's life hung in the balance. It was not until October 28, 2025, 3 full days after Comfort went missing, that an investigation formally began at Makinde police station. Before we go further, I want to stop and speak directly to you watching this video right now. If you take one thing from this story so far, let it be this. When you are going to meet someone, especially someone not everyone in your life knows well, please share the details. Share their name, share their phone number, share a photo if you have one. Tell someone the exact location where you are going. And if you're already there and something feels wrong, send your live location immediately. Do not wait. One text message with a hotel name or an address could save your life. We've seen it again and again in these stories. The difference between someone who came home and someone who did not often comes down to one simple piece of information shared in time. Comfort had a phone in her hand when she made that distress call. If she had sent her location, if she had typed the name of the hotel, the story might have ended differently. Now, here's your moment to be part of this conversation. In the comment section right now, write down one safety rule you believe every person should follow before going to meet someone they do not know well. Just one rule. Let us build something useful together in this comment section. Because the goal of this channel is not just to tell stories, it's to make you safer. And while you are here, if you have not already subscribed to Trem Crime Zone, please do it now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Every week we bring you real stories, real cases, real lessons. Stories that are not just shocking, but stories that can protect you and the people you love. We are building a community of people who are informed, careful, and looking out for one another. Join us. Now let us go back to Comfort's story, because things were about to take a very dark and very strange turn.
Almost 1 month passed. Then on November 26, 2025, police officers arrested a man named Olajide Akinshola in Epe. He was the person Comfort had gone to visit. He was the last person to see her alive. And from the moment he sat down in front of investigators, his story shifted like sand. At first, Olajide denied knowing Comfort. He said he had no idea who she was. But when investigators pushed harder, showed him records and confronted him with evidence, he changed his position. He admitted that yes, Comfort had come to see him that Saturday. He said they had drinks together. He said she became tipsy from the alcohol. Then, he said something that raised serious questions. He admitted that he locked her inside a hotel room. Why would someone lock a guest inside a room? When investigators pressed him on this, he offered an explanation that stretched the imagination. He said that at some point after he locked her in, Comfort somehow got out of the room, and then he claimed she walked out into the night and was involved in an accident along the Ekwe-Lagos highway. He said a trailer crushed her on the road. He said that was how she died. It was an accident, a tragic, unfortunate accident, and that, according to Olajide Akinshola, was the end of Comfort Uwakwe. But here is the problem. The police checked the road safety records for that time and that area. There was no report of any accident on that highway, no trailer, no crash, no victim. The Federal Road Safety Corps had nothing on file. The people who monitor road incidents in that zone had no knowledge of any accident matching what Olajide described. So how did he know about an accident that did not appear in any official record? That was the question everyone was asking. Then, investigators were taken to a spot Olajide pointed out as the alleged accident scene. And what did they find there? Not a body. Not remains that looked like the aftermath of a road crash. They found a single human leg. Just one leg lying on the road, no other body parts nearby, no blood trail, nothing else. The family of Comfort Uwakwe looked at a photograph of the leg and gave a firm answer. That is not hers. They rejected it completely. They said the police had brought them a severed limb and were asking them to accept it as proof that their daughter was gone. The Owala Town Development Union, a community group representing Comfort's people in Lagos, issued a public statement demanding answers. Their president, Mr. Chiedozinze, raised a series of pointed questions that have not been fully answered to this day. If the leg belonged to Comfort, where are the rest of her remains? If she was locked inside a hotel room, how did she escape? What did the hotel staff on duty that night say? Was there any evidence of forced entry or of someone breaking out of the room?
Why, if there truly was a road accident, was there no record of it anywhere? And perhaps the most disturbing question of all, how could a severed limb remain lying on a road for several weeks without anyone noticing, reporting it, or it being removed? Here is the moment I want you to pause this story and write something in the comment section. Write down the word justice for Comfort. Just that word. Let us fill this comment section with it, because Comfort deserves to have people speaking her name. She was a 25-year-old woman who went to meet someone she trusted, and she has not come home since. Her family is still waiting. Her sister Virginia is still looking for answers, and while the investigation is supposedly closed, many people, including those who knew Comfort, believe that the full truth has not come out yet. So write justice in the comments right now and keep watching, because this story is not over.
There is a moment in every case like this when you stop and ask, how did we get here? How does a 25-year-old woman leave her home on a Saturday afternoon and never come back? How does someone disappear in a city of millions? And the answers we are given are filled with more holes than facts. The story of Comfort Uwakwe is still unfolding. As of early 2026, her family is still pushing for a full investigation. They have not accepted the conclusion that Comfort died in a road accident with no record and no full remains. They want a proper DNA test conducted. They want hotel staff to be questioned on record. They want the full story of what happened inside that room, who was there, what was said, and how Comfort ended up unable to come home to her family in Oshodi. Olajide Akinshola was arrested and transferred to the Lagos State Police Command Special Squad in Ikeja. He is a suspect in the case. His shifting stories, first denying he knew her, then admitting she visited, then claiming she got drunk, then saying he locked her in a room, then claiming she had an accident, paint the picture of a man who was not telling the truth from the beginning. A person with nothing to hide does not change their story multiple times under questioning. A person with nothing to hide does not first say they do not know someone and then later admit that person came to visit them. Every time his account changed, it added a new question mark to the case. The police, for their part, have been criticized heavily by Comfort's family and by the Owala Town Development Union. They were slow to begin the investigation. They sent the family back and forth between stations in those critical early days when time was most important. They accepted the account of a suspect who kept changing his story. They presented a single severed limb as the only physical evidence in the case, and when the family rejected that evidence and asked for a DNA test, the family was told they would have to pay for it themselves. This is the kind of institutional failure that allows cases to go cold. This is what happens when the people who are supposed to find the truth move slowly, and the person most responsible for answering questions keeps moving his answers around. Now, let us talk about what this case teaches all of us, not just in Nigeria, but everywhere. Because stories like Comfort happen in cities around the world, and the lessons are the same no matter where you live. The first lesson is simple. Location sharing saves lives. When Comfort left for Epe, no one in her family or circle had the name of the person she was going to see, the address, a full number, or even a clear description of where she was going. If one of those pieces of information had been shared, the police would have had a starting point within hours instead of days. 2 days passed before a report was even filed. In a case involving possible danger, 2 days is not just a long time. It is the difference between finding someone and never finding them at all. The second lesson is about distress calls. When you are in trouble, a phone call that only says, "I am locked in and in danger," is not enough. If you have a phone, use every tool on it. Send a text, share your live location, type the name of the building or street if you can see it, send a voice note, send anything that carries information. Comfort had enough access to her phone at 10:08 p.m. to make a call. That call was her one chance to give the people who loved her the information they needed to save her. It did not have enough detail to act on quickly. That is not Comfort's fault. She was scared and in a terrible situation. But we can learn from it. If you ever find yourself in that position, give information first. Location, name, building, anything specific. The third lesson is about the people around you. Ifeoma, Comfort's friend, received a distress call and did not act until nearly 24 hours later. She likely did not know what to do or she was in shock, or she did not fully believe the danger was real. But when a friend tells you they are locked in a room and in danger, that is the moment to act. Call police, call family. Do not wait to see if the person calls back. The responsibility of keeping each other safe does not end when the call disconnects. It begins. The fourth lesson is about trusting your gut. Comfort's family and friends sensed something was off, but no one pushed hard enough in those small windows before she left. If someone you care about is going somewhere they are being secretive about, and they tell you not to worry about who they are going to see, that is the moment to push a little harder. You don't need to be controlling, you just need a name, a number, and a location. That's a reasonable thing to ask for. That is love. As of early 2026, Comfort Uwakwe's case remains one of the most painful and unresolved stories to come out of Lagos in recent memory. Her family from Owala Autonomous Community in Imo State is still waiting for full answers. They want to know what truly happened inside that hotel in Epe on the night of October 25, 2025. They want to know why a DNA test has not been completed. They want to know why the investigation appears to have wound down without a conviction, without a full account of events, and without closure for a family that lost a daughter, a sister, and a friend. Justice for Comfort is not just a phrase, it is a demand. To everyone watching this video right now, if you have any information about this case, please contact the relevant authorities or the contacts shared by the Owala Town Development Union, 0913-06-10045 or 070-6290-3823. Every piece of information, no matter how small it seems to you, could be the one thing that breaks this case open. And to Comfort Uwakwe, wherever the truth leads, your story is being told. People know your name. People are asking the questions that deserve answers. You were a 25-year-old woman who deserved to come home. Your family deserved to have you back. We will not stop saying your name. This has been Trem Crime Zone. If this story moved you, if it made you think, if it taught you something, then share it. Share it to your sister, your friend, your neighbor, because the best way to prevent the next story like this from happening is to make sure as many people as possible know what to do when someone they love does not come home. Like this video if it meant something to you. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. We post every week, and every story we tell is one that deserves to be heard. Drop your comments below, your thoughts, your prayers for Comfort's family, your safety rules, your justice messages. We read every single one. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.
So she got to Ekpe on that very day around after 5 to 6. She called the friend that she has gotten to the place, and the friend asked her if she have seen the person she went to visit. She said yes. Getting to some hours later, she also called the friend again that they are in a place drinking. The friend had told her, enjoy. Getting to around after 10 on that the same 25th of October 2025, she put a distress call to her friend and told her that she is in danger and she is locked in a room. And she told her friend that if the friend did not get to hear from her again, that means they've killed her. The friend now called on the 26th, which was on Sunday. I was in church. She called, I received the call. So she asked what actually happened. That is my sister back? I told her no, that my sister is not back. She said this was what my sister told her. So it was late on that very Sunday, 27th, which was the next day, which was on Monday. So immediately we switched over to the police station. We went to Ekpe police station. Ekpe police station, the people there said it is Makinde that will handle it because that is where she resides. So coming back from Ekpe that very day was late already. We didn't go. So got into the next day, which was on the 28th. I and my kid brother went back to Makinde to tell the IPO about our movement, which was on that Monday. So she now said, okay, we should wait for the DPO to come since the DPO went for a meeting. So we waited for the DPO and the DPO came. They started with the call log expansion, and before we did the tracking tracking and the arrest. And this thing took almost a month and a day. The suspect was being arrested on the 26th of November 2025. An IPO was assigned to the case. The first thing that the guy said when they arrested him at Makinde was, he first of all denied that he did not know her. Then later he said yes, she came and she left. Later he said she came and he gave her money for Uber. So there are different statements that he's saying. Then when they transferred the case to State Command, what he told the OC and the IPO there was, yes, she came and he saw her off to an halfway, and he turned his back and asked her to follow a direction that she's going to see a bus there that will lead her to where she was going to. And when the IPO, they said they interrogated him, so he channeled it to be an accident. An accident that happened on the 25th of October. He didn't bother to go and report to the nearest police station. And what the IPO told us that on that very day that she had an accident, a trailer came and crushed her into two. If a trailer crushed into two, will it be only one leg? Won't the hand be there? So that is what is now looking like a suspicious plan they are trying to cook up. If the guy said it's an accident, it's an half leg, a full leg. So where is the main part of the body? And when they went there, my kid brother said, the DPO at Epe said they have not recorded any accident scene for the past 1 month. And the road safety also said they have not recorded any accident scene. So how come that leg is on the highway, just an half leg? It was the hotel she went to meet the person she went to visit, of which the guy confirmed it that it was their family hotel that she came visiting him. And what the guy was saying was she was tipsy and he locked her in a room. So how come somebody that he locked in a room have the access to leave the room? And the question I asked the IPO, was the door damaged? He said no. Was there any infrastructure on the door? He said no. All these questions is what we have been asking the IPO, of which they are deviating from it and they are telling us it is an accident. Fine, it is an accident. So how come did she leave the room that was locked into the express? Secondly, if you said it's an accident, where is the remaining part of the body? How come it was only an half leg that was being seen on a highway after a month and a day? That's why I'm calling on the Nigerian police, I'm calling on the Commissioner of Police, I'm calling on the IG of the police to look into this matter. And half leg is not a full leg after a month and. So where is the remaining part of the body? That is what we have been asking. They said they are done with their investigation. They should tell us where the remaining part of the body is. Does it not look as if there is a conspiracy in this matter? As they say, police are our friend, so that we'll have this assurance that truly police are our friend. But in a case like this, I think there is a biased mind